So now as we have the recent chats data, that is last messages from the receivers, we can simply display it. So using the stream builder, stream controller dot stream context comma snapshot. Here we will use a switch statement as usual to check if the connection state is active or not. So we can say snapshot dot connection state. The first two cases will be connection none, connection waiting, if it is waiting or if it is not available. So for these two cases we can say return const center widget. First we will display our text, that is loading chats, and then the circular progress indicator. Of course in between, if you want, you can add some space. So this is for the first two cases. Then after it, if the connection state is active or if it is done, then we can say if. Remember, this if must be here, okay, below this case s, you can see that. So then we will say if snapshot dot has error. If it has error, then display this. Otherwise, if everything is okay, that is if there is no error, then we have to get the data. So snapshot dot data as query snapshot. And we will give it name as snapshot data. So snapshot data dot documents dot list, we convert that data to list, and then that data we assign to this list, recent chats list. Then it is time to display it using the list view dot separate it. Using each recent chat index number, as you know, we will have multiple users from whom we will receive messages. So every user, every receiver last message we will display, okay, using its index number. As you know, inside this recent chats there will be a lot of recent chats, last messages from different receivers. So we will display it one by one using its index number. That is, at the 0 index we will have a different message from different user. Similarly, then we will have the second different user from whom we will have a different message, and so on. Return divider, as after every chat we want a divider, a line, horizontal line, just to make the UI more beautiful. So after every recent chat we will have a divider, 0.3. After the separator builder we have item count, that is how much data we have. So it is inside our recent chat list. It depends on the length of it. So whatever the length of it is, let's say if we have 3 recent chats from 3 different users, the length will be 3. So from the recent chat list we will get the first, that is one by one we are picking now, and we are going to displaying. So we pick the recent chat from it, the first one, and we are going to display it. So document snapshot chat, or you can say last message. So from the chat we will pick first the to user image. So you have to use the same keys, okay? So I can simply say to user image, and I will assign it to a variable image. Similarly for the other ones, for the name, email, message, and to user ID. So after it we have the name, then email, then last message from the receiver. Okay, the receiver name, the receiver, that is to user name, to user email, to user last message, and then the user ID, which is to user ID. You can say let's give it name as to user name, to user email, and to user profile picture, so we can say to user image. So for the to user name, the key name is this, okay? So please use the same key names. Then for the email, to user email, then for the last message, then comes to user ID, and once we get that, we have to assign it to user data using our user model class. So the first one, you already know that this is the to user ID, then name is to user name, then email is to user email. For the password, we will pass empty. Then we have image, and image is basically to user image. And yeah, that's it. So as we have now the to user data also, so now we can return a list style on which the user tab. We will do something, but that is for the latter part, that is to open up the chat box. For now, first of all, let's complete the user interface. So circle avatar, radius 26, background color will be gray, background image will be network image, and which is our to user data user model. Okay, this one, to user data user model dot image. Then after the leading comes the title. So in the title of our list style, we are going to display the name of the to user. So we can say to user data dot name. Font size will be 18, font weight will be bold. Then comes the subtitle, that is that chat, either it is a text message, an image, or a file. So you can say subtitle text widget. Now it will depend on the conditions. For example, first we will check if last message dot to string dot contains dot jpg. If the last message contains .jpg, it simply means it is an image file. So we have to display this text, that is sent you, that is receiver sent you an image. Then the next thing that we will check is if the last message contain .docs. Let's move it to the next line. Okay, if it contains .docs or if it contains .powerpoint, if it contains Microsoft Excel, and if it contains .pdf, mp3 or mp4. If the last message contains any of this extension, then it simply means it is a file. So what we can do, we can simply say sent you a file, that is the receiver sent you a file. Then after it comes the last one, which is else, it will be the text message. So it is simple. All you need to do is you can simply say last message dot to string, just display that text message. Simple and easy. Let's also apply some style on it. Maximum lines will be 3, and if it exceeds, then we can convert the remaining text to dotted form. So we can say text overflow dot ellipsis, and then after the subtitle we have content padding property. So const agent sets from all sides it will be 9. And if a user chat or click or tap on any recent chat, then we have to open up the messages box, or you can say the chat box. So for that purpose we can simply say navigator dot push name context comma the root name you already know slash messages, and then arguments we have to pass to it, which is to user data. So yeah, that's it. So let's test our application. And here we go. As you can see, it reloads the recent chats. John Jones, Peter Parker receive a recent chat, or you can say latest message from John Jones, which is an image. If you tap on it, it will open up the chat box, and if you see here, then you can see that from John Jones, Peter Parker receive this image. Okay, that's why we say the last one, which is sent you an image, as you can see here. Now one thing which you notice here is we do not want the chat box to appear like this. Okay, we want that to appear here, okay, for the recent chat especially. However, if it is a new contact, if you want to chat with any new person, then it will open. Okay, otherwise for the recent chats we want the chat box to appear here. So for that purpose we have used the provider stat management. If you remember, we have our chat provider. So what we can do is, instead of this piece of code, we can say context read provider chat to user data. We have to assign our to user data. So now let's see how it looks. So now if I tap on John Jones, here we go. Here you can see we have a beautiful right side chat box, or you can say messages box. So you can see that. So in this section we have successfully retrieved and displayed the last messages from the receivers, or you can say the recent chats. Currently Peter Parker has only one recent chat from John Jones and no other users. So for example, now if the user, let's say Michael Clark, I'm going to log out and log in as Michael. So Michael has no recent chats, and now Michael, if send a message to Peter Parker, let's say hello, how are you? Okay, so now let me log out quickly, and I'm going to log in as Peter. So you can see that from Michael, Peter Parker received the message, the recent message, or you can say the latest message, or you can say the last message. That is a text message, hello, how are you? So if you click on that, it will open up the chat box, or you can say the messages box, and from Michael Clark you receive hello, how are you? So of course now you can respond, I'm fine, thanks. You can see that. So now for example, if I log out, okay, let's confirm. Okay, as you can see, I am logged out successfully. Now I'm going to log in as Michael again, just to see if Michael also received the last or recent chat from Peter. So you can see that Michael received from the receiver Peter Parker a message which is I am fine, thanks. You can see that.